Magazine news and gossip. Shocking words from CanYaman's ex. Here's the truth behind the statement. Have you ever wondered what happens behind the glossy veneer of a celebrity's life? What if the seemingly perfect relationships we admire from afar are not what they seem? Could it be that the stars we admire, who look like they have it all, harbor untold secrets, struggles, and emotional battles that only a few are privy to? If you're a fan of CanYaman, these questions might have been on your mind more than once. And now, it seems that the answers are closer than ever. CanYaman's ex-girlfriend has finally broken her silence and delivered a series of explosive revelations that are leaving the entertainment world in shock. Her candid and unapologetic words paint a much different picture of the heartthrob actor, offering a window into a side of CanYaman that many of his adoring fans might never have expected to see. The world of celebrity gossip has just received a bombshell, and it's one that will undoubtedly make waves. Get ready, because what you're about to hear will change the way you view one of Turkey's most beloved actors. Every moment with him was a dream, but it eventually turned into a nightmare. Let's start with the most shocking part of the interview. CanYaman's ex-girlfriend didn't mince words when it came to describing their relationship. At the beginning, every moment with him was like a dream come true, she admitted in her tell-all interview. But as time went on, that dream began to fade, and it turned into something far darker. Can you imagine? What could make a seemingly ideal romance or relationship that started like a fairy tale turn into something so profoundly troubling? As she continued to speak, it became clear that the actress felt a deep emotional disconnect with the man she once loved. It was like he was always trying to show the world that he was invincible, she explained. But behind the mask of strength and confidence, he was emotionally exhausted and overwhelmed. The revelation that CanYaman, the confident, magnetic star we've seen on screen, was struggling with his emotional well-being was a major shock to fans who had only seen his larger-than-life persona in the public eye. How could someone so seemingly perfect be so torn on the inside? What were the struggles that he kept hidden from everyone else? This wasn't just about a relationship falling apart. It was about the unraveling of the very image that millions had come to admire. His looks were enchanting, but the gaping emotional void. It's no secret that CanYaman is a heartthrob. With his chiseled features, charming smile, and piercing eyes, he has captivated fans worldwide. It's easy to see how someone might fall for him at first sight. But what does it take to truly know a person? His ex-girlfriend revealed an intriguing detail that had not been widely known until now. At first, I was completely mesmerized by his physical appearance. Who wouldn't be? He's one of the most handsome men I've ever seen, she confessed. But as time went on, I began to notice that there was something much deeper going on. Beneath all the beauty and charm, there was an emotional void. Her words are undoubtedly eye-opening. The actor who had everyone under his spell for his good looks also had a side that many never expected. She described how, over time, the cracks in their relationship became more apparent. At first, it was just his physical allure that drew me in, she said. But I soon realized that his inner world was far more complicated than I could have imagined. This is where things get even more startling. She went on to say, he had so many internal conflicts that he chose to hide from the world. But those conflicts were impossible to ignore when we were alone, and they started to take a toll on us. The image of a seemingly perfect relationship begins to crumble, leaving fans with more questions than answers. What kind of emotional toll does living in the public eye take on someone? Can someone who seems to have everything really have so much emotional turmoil hidden away? He's a strong man, but he can't accept his weaknesses. As the interview continued, the ex-girlfriend's candid reflections on CanYaman's emotional world only deepened. He's a strong person, there's no doubt about that, she said, her voice softer but filled with an unmistakable sadness. But the thing that broke our relationship was his inability to accept his own weaknesses. Her words echo the experiences of many people who struggle with accepting their vulnerabilities, especially in the public eye. CanYaman's ex explained how his refusal to confront his emotional weaknesses created a barrier between them. He wanted to always appear as the hero, the strong one, the protector. But behind closed doors, he was constantly battling with his own fears, insecurities, and doubts. she revealed. He didn't know how to share that part of himself with me, and that became a problem. It's almost heartbreaking to think that someone who is often seen as a pillar of strength might feel like they are carrying a weight too heavy to bear alone. Fans of CanYaman may have never imagined that his emotional world was so layered and complicated. This admission also begs the question, is there a point where strength becomes a burden and vulnerability is the key to healing? We respected each other, but our paths had to diverge. One of the most difficult parts of any relationship is knowing when it's time to part ways. CanYaman's ex-girlfriend admitted that, while they shared a deep respect for one another, the cracks in their bond eventually led to their separation. "We had a mutual respect that never wavered," she said. "But sometimes, no matter how much you care for someone, your paths in life just don't align anymore." This statement hits close to home for many people. Relationships are complex, and sometimes love isn't enough to overcome the challenges that arise between two people. CanYaman and his ex-girlfriend shared something special, but their emotional disconnect eventually became insurmountable. "It wasn't about betrayal or anger," she explained. "It was about realizing that we were two people who wanted different things out of life." Could it be that their love was not enough to bridge the emotional distance that grew between them over time? Is there a lesson in this story about the fragility of relationships, even when both parties still care for each other deeply? The aftermath, the public's reaction, and what it means for CanYaman's future. As expected, these revelations have sent shockwaves through the world of entertainment, and CanYaman's fans are divided. While some are shocked and devastated by the idea that their beloved actor might have been struggling in such a way, others are taking a more empathetic approach. "I can't believe CanYaman was going through all of this," one fan commented. "He always seemed so strong and confident, but now I understand that there's so much more to him than what we see." CanYaman himself has yet to address the interview, but fans are eagerly waiting to hear if he will acknowledge the statements made by his ex-girlfriend. Will he open up about his emotional struggles? Or will he continue to maintain his strong, untouchable public persona? One thing is for sure, this interview has brought a new level of depth to the actor's public image, and fans are now looking at him in a completely different light. The glitz and glamour of Hollywood can often obscure the real, human side of its stars, and in this case, it seems that the reality is far more complicated than anyone could have imagined. Conclusion: the shocking revelations and what comes next. As we reflect on the shocking words of CanYaman's ex-girlfriend, it's clear that the image of the perfect actor and heartthrob we've all come to adore is just a small part of the man himself. His ex-girlfriend's brave and emotional confessions have shed light on the complexities of their relationship and the internal struggles that Yaman faced in silence. This interview has raised more questions than answers, and the world is left wondering, what's next for CanYaman? Will he address the allegations and share his side of the story, or will he choose to remain silent and let the public speculate? As fans, we can only hope that Yaman finds the peace and understanding he deserves, whatever that may look like. Stay tuned to magazine news and gossip for all the latest updates on this dramatic and revealing story. You won't want to miss what comes next as this shocking tale continues to unfold.